Welcome back, fellow Clashers, to another one of our awesome videos. This is RC from the Night's Watch. Here is our clan and our clan tag up here at the top. Usual cast of characters still hanging around in this clan, so feel free to stop on by, check us out, see if you can help us out in any of our attacks. Also like and subscribe to the channel so you can keep an eye on some of our other Capital District attacks that I'm posting on right now. As of last weekend, we were in 169 out of in the top 200 for the U.S. Actually, after last weekend, now we've moved up even to number 119 in the U.S. So, some of these strategies are really moving us up the leaderboard. I wanted to show you some two-hit strategies for the Dragon Cliff space. This is one I've been struggling on to try to find a repeatable strategy good for two-hitting these Dragon Cliffs. So what I've started doing now is focusing with a 7 lightning attack, and the goal here, this particular base was not the strongest one, but this was something I was trying later on in our raids this past weekend. But I'm going to use those lightnings during my first attack to break up the dragons here and get them so that they're all activated, right? So my first step is I'm going to get it so that all of as many as the dragons as possible anyway in the base are not tied to their roosts anymore. So as I zap out the 2 that are furthest from where I can start my attack, they're going to start working their way up towards the front of the base. I can free up the other 2 on my own, and now I can lure all the dragons into one particular area and at least make sure during this first attack that I get down as many of the dragons as possible. The second hit that I'm going to show you here is a base that has 5 dragons, so I got kind of lucky here in this one and only had 4 dragons, which again, when you're at District 10, 4 dragons is certainly not the biggest challenge you can come across. So anyway, on this particular base, I was able to get all 4 of the dragons down, had a few extra archers left over, so I could kind of clear out a little bit more space here in this base. 33% damage. Not a ton of medals, at least, or loot there on the first hit. But now, once I've got that done, I can move into my hog attack strategy that works on most other ground bases. So bringing in the skeletons, I've got the extra zap that I can use on a concentrated defense area there. And basically just going to run a standard hog skeleton attack for the second hit there, since all that's really left is mostly just focused on some defensive buildings, keeping those skeletons there to keep everybody distracted. I do have to watch out that there's a couple bomb towers, so making sure I spread out the hogs enough that those bomb towers don't take out too many of the hogs in one hit. But really relatively simple attack on the second one after we're able to get down those dragons in that first hit. So you'll see just kind of plowing the rest of the way through this here on cleanup, working our way up here now to the left to take out the last of those defenses, and once that drops, the rest of the base is just a cleanup at this point. So anyway, I think it's been a pretty effective strategy so far. Again, this one was not the hardest of the bases, so I want to skip ahead now to a base with 5 dragons and show that this strategy can also work here. So if we take a look at this one, this is a 5 dragon layout, so I've got one up there in the far north, off to the west, the east, the south, and then kind of in the middle of the base. So I'm going to do a similar attack idea here. I'm going to, I want to free up or get as many of the dragons floating around as I possibly can. So this one up at the north I'm going to take out, and then one in the middle. And my thought is that since that one on the west is so far away, I can probably clear out a lot of this base here throughout the rest of it, and hopefully get it so that my troops on the second attack end on the west and can either take out that last dragon, or if I've got enough troops left over, I can take out the dragon roost without even having to actually kill that dragon. So same as this last attack, I'm going to focus on just trying to take out these dragons during this first hit. So we're dropping our archers here to try to make sure we at least get out as many of these dragons. So I've still got just this one left, and now that one is down too. So I've got 1 dragon left off on the west side there, 24% on that first hit. A lot of work to do on the second one, but again, we're going to go to this hog strategy here with our skeleton spells. and we're going to approach this like a standard ground attack base. I am going to drop some of my archers here in the beginning just to try to take out or at least weaken up the bomb tower there that I've got. Again, that's definitely an area that can be a challenge then with these hogs, is just getting too many of them taken out by those bomb towers. So we're going to work our troops in here from the east and the south, and my goal is that I want them all to end as much as possible anyway on the west side of this base, so that way I can try to get the troops over there where that dragon is with only cleanup buildings left to go, and hopefully I can take out those defenses without having to necessarily take out that dragon. So I've got a couple of hogs up there at the top that are taking out those last defenses, and now you'll see everybody's working their way off to the west side here. So I'm going to drop my last hog that I saved till the very end. I'm going to take out all 4 of these remaining defenses over here. The last of those hogs working their way in by the wizard. They're able to take out where the dragon is, and taking out the last of the junk buildings. So really kind of getting it so that the attack works its way across, ends up in that spot, and I don't have to worry about taking out that 5th dragon. So anyway, that's a strategy I've been trying here on the Dragon Cliffs. It worked quite a few times actually in this last war. You see we've got a bunch of attacks where we cleared districts in 18, 19. We even had one here where we did it in 17. So whereas a lot of our defenses are typically in the mid 20s area. So been a pretty effective strategy so far. I'm going to keep checking in with this attack in future weeks. But like I said, it's been good enough to move us up to number 119 in the US, so hoping we can see that continue to rise. We crack the top 100 next weekend and continue going for there. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. This is RC from the Night's Watch. Feel free to subscribe and like some of our videos, see what else I've got up on Capital District attacks. And thanks for stopping by. Check in with you again next time.